Have you ever wondered what it's like to live either in Cleveland versus living in Akron? Well, in today's video, I want to go over some key similarities and some differences between the two cities so that if you're thinking about moving to the area, you know exactly what to expect. My name is Kolesar. I am a real estate agent here in Northeast Ohio, and for context, I have personally never lived in Cleveland. I was born and raised right here in Akron, but I am in Cleveland and Akron almost daily/weekly, so I have a pretty good idea on what it's like to live in both cities. Now, most of my videos are a little scripted as I do a ton of research, and you can see a bunch of drone shots. But in this video, I kind of want to do the opposite, right? I wanted to tell a little bit of more personal stories, less facts, less stats, and just make it more between a conversation between me and you, and hopefully you can relate to my story. But let's start off with the first thing, and that's going to be that Cleveland is such a larger city when compared to Akron. I mean, including the city and the suburbs. So it should be no surprise that Cleveland offers way more to do. Now, the first thing I got to mention, gotta be the Cleveland Browns, because holy shit, we made it to the playoffs, and I'm telling you right now, people here in Cleveland are absolutely crazy about the Browns, and in my opinion, we have the most loyal fans in all of the NFL. Now, unfortunately, with COVID and everything going on, fortunately, I didn't hit up that many games, but at least 1 to 2 to 3 times a year, it's absolutely a necessity. You gotta go tailgating up there. We usually end up hitting the Pit, which is right off West 3rd Street there, just west of the stadium there. And I'm telling you, you gotta get out there at like 7:30 a.m. You got the barbecue going, we got games, cornhole, we got beers going. I mean, every single time it's an absolutely great time. And even if you don't have tickets, you can pick up some people scouting for tickets, or at the end of the day, you can just go home. Now, obviously, Cleveland does have other sports teams like the Cavs, you got the Cleveland Indians, and for hockey, we got the Lake Erie Monsters. Here's actually a picture of my cousin holding up a sign for a bachelor party that we're at. Such a great time. Afterwards, we ended up hitting a couple local bars around the stadium. Now, unfortunately, Akron does not have any professional teams, but they do have the Akron Zips football team, and for baseball, they have the Akron Rubber Ducks. This place is an absolute great location, and they have even better food, and low-key, I think it's absolutely perfect for a family night. And the year before, I actually did a marathon relay race there, which took you all the way through Akron, and the race actually ended there at the Canal Park. Here's a picture with me and my girlfriend, and holy smokes was I tan. Dang, whew. This picture was clearly taken in the summertime, but that's what I like about Akron, right? It's a little smaller, so I found out it's a lot more locals end up going to it, and really it feels like more of like a tight-knit community, where Cleveland's so dang big that you're gonna get so many people from all over going there. Now let's talk about the commute between the two cities, right? Oh, got a surprise guest here. Here is Big Marley. She's my editor and also here for moral support. Shout out Big Mar. But downtown to downtown, you're looking around 40 miles or also a 45-minute drive. And I will say a lot of people that are moving to the area make the mistake of making these long commutes, right? They'll find a job in Akron and they want to live up there in like Westlake or something like that. And in my opinion, that's just way too long of a drive. Anything over 25 minutes is really past my liking, and I do not want to do that drive anymore. But one thing you have to consider here is that we do live in Northeast Ohio. We have Lake Erie right there, so we are in the snow belt here. Cleveland is definitely gonna get more snow than Akron. Every time we get a snowstorm, Cleveland always gets dumped on more than Akron. I actually did a little bit of research and found that Cleveland does get around 54 inches of snow per year, where Akron only gets around 42 inches. So in the wintertime, best believe you wanna extend these commute times by at least 30 minutes, maybe even 45 minutes, depending on where you're going. Now, I think one of the biggest differences between the two cities has to be the nightlife. Cleveland offers a nightlife that really Akron can't compete with. Over in Akron, the best spots are probably gonna be downtown Akron, the Valley, which used to be a great spot, and I'm not sure if it's really a great spot anymore, and definitely over in Kent. It's obvious that the biggest two spots in Akron to party in are definitely because of the college students, right? Downtown Akron, you got Akron University, and over in Kent, you got Kent State University. But Cleveland has so much more to offer and is actually ranked number 5 out of 10 best cities in America for nightlife, which obviously I had to look this up. I knew they had a great nightlife, but I had no idea it was that in demand, so to say. Some of the best areas are gonna be Detroit Shoreway, downtown, Tremont, Lakewood, and Ohio City. Here's actually a picture of me and my family out in Tremont. We were doing a Santa pub crawl. It was an absolute blast. We actually went from a bar, went right across the street to a Christmas Story house. Now, if you've never seen a Christmas Story movie, I will judge you. I mean, I won't judge you.
Oh my God, I shot my eye out.
You'll shoot your eye out, kid.
You'll shoot your eye out.
but if you haven't seen it, go watch it. But I will say Cleveland is definitely a place for young professionals or people that just love to go out and enjoy that nightlife and bar scene. Akron definitely does not foster that as much. Again, around the universities they do, but if you're not in that university area, it's definitely gonna be a little more quiet and rural in the suburbs. So, does it cost more to live in Akron or does it cost more to live in Cleveland? And in my opinion and experiences, Cleveland is definitely a more expensive place to live than Akron. In Cleveland, you're gonna be paying more for parking, food, drinks, rent, and especially in property taxes. Up in Cleveland, the average rent is around $1,100 a month. Whereas in Akron, you can find the same place for around $850 a month. I mean, that's a huge difference. And now if you're looking to move to the area and buy a house, if you buy a $100,000 house, you're looking at like $2,600 a year in property taxes up in Cleveland. Whereas in Akron, I think you're looking around like $2,100 a year. So that's also a major difference as well. Now it says here that Cleveland homes are actually around $10,000 cheaper than Akron homes, when I don't know if that's entirely true. I think Cleveland homes definitely have a higher price tag, but I also think that in Cleveland they have more spots that are lower valued, right? You're gonna have more suppressed and depressed neighborhoods where prices are gonna be a lot lower, so the average number ends up becoming down a lot more. Now look at this map. These are all homes priced lower than $30,000, and in Cleveland, they're definitely gonna be spread out quite a bit and not necessarily right in downtown. You're gonna see it over on the east side and over on the southeast side. Where in Akron, a lot of these lower priced homes are definitely gonna be found near the downtown area, especially on the south side and over on the west side. Now let's cover the crime between the two cities. And in my personal opinion, I feel so much more safe in Akron than I do in Cleveland. And I don't know if that's because I grew up in Akron, but in my opinion, Akron has like smaller pockets of like bad neighborhoods, right? These are like areas that you know you shouldn't go in, so you avoid them. Where in Cleveland, it seems like even if you're in the nice neighborhoods, more often than not, they kind of border like the ghetto a little bit. So at the end of the day, sometimes it's hard to get away from it completely. And it's just such a bigger suburb area, so you're gonna constantly run into these different areas that you just don't wanna go to. Now, I did some research and I did find that Akron is actually only 7% safer than all of US cities, whereas Cleveland is literally only 2% safer than all of US cities. Now, both these cities definitely have high crime and they're gonna be centralized near that downtown area. But at the end of the day, you just gotta use your head, right? If you don't know the area, don't go walking at night alone with no friends in a neighborhood that you just don't know. At the end of the day, you're gonna be asking for bad news. Now this has nothing to do with poverty or crime, but I thought it was funny. Just a few months ago, my girlfriend and I actually went up to Lindy's lake house up there in the flats. And before we went in, we ran into this homeless girl. I mean, I don't know if she was homeless, but she looked homeless. I don't know if the stereotyping, but we walked in and she ended up following us in there, and she was kind of, it wasn't harassing us, but she was talking to us and we just kind of felt uncomfortable about the situation. So we both got a table and she was kind of an eye distance, so we were just keeping an eye on her because, I don't know, it was kind of comical. She ordered a beer and ended up making herself right at home in the booth. She literally like took her shoes off and started laying down in the booth and started passing out like, this is where I'm sleeping tonight. The waitress ended up coming over and was like, ma'am, you gotta wake up. Like, you can't stay here, you're sleeping. She ended up ignoring her, of course, and continued to sleep. The waitress got the manager came over there, woke her up. As soon as she woke up, she literally started peeing in the booth. Now look, I can't make this stuff up. Literally, we're just dying laughing and also pretty concerned because where we're at's also a pretty nice area. So she started peeing, and at that point, she got right up and left, and really it just caused a whole scene. But that's what I mean, you know, you'll be in these really nice areas, then all of a sudden you'll still see like the homeless and a little bit more crime. So just be prepared. If you're moving to the city, you're definitely gonna see that a little more than if you were in Akron. But now with all that being said, if I had to personally choose between the two cities, even though Akron's in my heart, I definitely gotta choose Cleveland because where I'm at in my life, I absolutely love the hustle and bustle of Cleveland. Down in Akron, it's definitely gonna be less businesses, less people, less things to do just because of the size. So, you know, at the end of the day, I'm kind of feel like I'm comparing apples to oranges just because the two cities kind of are completely different. Hopefully I answered all your guys' questions that you may have about living in either city. And if you're thinking about moving to the area, make sure you send me a text, phone call, email, because however you want to get a hold of me, I got your back for moving to the area. And now, if you don't want to reach out to me, but you have questions, make sure you put them in the comment section below and I'll get to them immediately. Guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next video.